I'm giving God all my time and all of my mind. I know that he wanted me at home. Good, you still need someone.
What's up, people? Welcome to the second episode of Your Spoken Truth podcast. This episode, I got a special guest with me. Look, this is a good friend of mine. His name is Tyrese.
What's up, y'all? How you doing, man?
Good, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Chilling like a dinner, man.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, bro. How you been? How your day been?
It's been good, man. Today is Friday, so I had like 3 classes today. Pretty easy.
For real?
Yeah, I went back home, took me a nap, and had to come support my boy with his podcast. Saw the first episode, was killer, loved it, so I wanted to be a part of it. So,
I appreciate you, bro.
Got you.
Hey, what class you had, though?
So I had Calculus 2, which is kicking my butt right now, and then Data Management, and then Malware.
Okay. So wait, what major are you, bro?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity?
Yes, sir.
So you be hacking stuff, bro?
We're learning, man. We're learning how to hack, so it's exciting to be able to do that. I can't wait to dive more into it because the dream is to go to work with the FBI, to be more on the digital forensic side of it. So that means like I will be focusing more on the electronics of how the criminal did the crime or how he's about to do the crime and stuff like that to either stop it or to solve a case that relates to the crime at the scene.
That's what's up, bro. So tell the people, who are you, bro? Like,
my man, that's a good question, bro. Well, my name is Tyrese, nickname Nuke. That's what my mom gave me. The Nuke came from like a pacifier, man. I don't like telling because it sounds so corny, but that's how she told me. She said that was a brand name, and that's the only thing I would mess with. So that's why she started calling me Nuke. But my name is Nuke or Tyrese. You can call me either one. I was born with NF. I know you wanted to talk about this. So it's called neurofibromatosis type 1, which means tumors around the tissue, organs, and nerves. So it's genetic. So my dad had it on his pituitary gland, which means like it's around his, I think it's around his eyes area. I think that's where it is, because he did go blind a little bit for a certain period of time, but he didn't know about it until like his 40s or 50s. So that's where I got it from. But mine's is more in my orbital area, so that's why it's more of a disfigurement in my left eye. But it affects different people. So some of you won't see it on their bodies, mostly inside. Some of it's outside and inside. If you ever have time, you should research a guy named Reggie Bibbs.
Reggie Bibbs?
Yeah, so he has NF too, man, and his is like the worst case that I've seen before. His leg is like very big. His eye area is also disfigured and stuff like that. But he's the one that like goes around talking about it more often than most people do. Just bring more awareness to it.
So when you said you grew up, you were born with what is called NF. How did that feel like? What was it like growing up with something like that?
To be honest, it wasn't that hard, man, because my mom, she always had my back. She always had it. First thing that she did when I finally understood what NF was put me in the mirror and told me how handsome I was, and smart and intelligent I was, and things like that. And to this day, every time I look at myself in the mirror, I always hear her voice saying that. And I think because she put that confidence in me at such a young age, I was able to move throughout life be more confident in situations. So, I mean, yes, I had my bullies, but the one person that hated me, there was pretty much the whole school that loved me, man. I mean, I was middle school and high schoolers were, wanted to sit next to me and be my friend and stuff like that. And what kind of high school I want to be friends in the middle school? Because we're kind of annoying at that young age. But yeah, it just didn't really affect me. I did have to learn how to handle the steering and stuff like that, because it did make me uncomfortable. But then that's when my mom would push me out there, telling me to just go explain what happened. Because a lot of people want to know what happened. It's more of a concern than a fear. And once people realize like what's going on and stuff like that, then they will be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Be able to truly understand, not look at it like it's so hurting and stuff like that. Because it doesn't really bother me. and anything like that. Yes, it's on nerves and stuff like that. So if I do get hit on it, it does cause pain and stuff like that. So that's why I can't play too much contact sports and stuff like that or anything too vigorous. But other than that, it's just there. It's just part of me that I just have to learn to live with.
That's what's up, bro. Like, and the fact that you said that your mom made you constantly remember like who you are.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me because in my life, bro, my mom did the same thing, and like just on a different level, she'd be like, because I would overthink about a lot of things in my life. She'd like, don't you know who you are in Christ? And I just started things like that. But moms,
They're on a totally different level, man.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, so.
What? Okay, so we talking on that topic. What's the one thing that you would say to your mom right now?
What's the one thing I say to my mom right now? I know sometimes I kind of, not get on her nerves, but kind of, because she knows my potential. Let me say that. She knows my potential. And I think I sometimes forget my own potential. And I just be a lollygagging, just not putting my best forward and stuff like that. And she gets frustrated with me. And, that upsets her because she knows who I am and who she raised.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just would say, I apologize for not pushing myself more than what I'm doing and just being that type of person that's just easygoing. That's like, if something happens, it happens, and I just deal with it instead of, not trying to make it happen and not trying to get out the way of it instead of trying to get hit by it. Like you see a bus coming, like I think I could take a hit of a bus. And you're not knowing the consequences of getting hit by that bus, you're gonna probably be put in a hospital and stuff like that. Instead of getting out the way and saving yourself, I'm the type of person that might just be like, I'm just gonna stand strong with it. So I just want to apologize to her. Sometimes just be like, I'm sorry, Mom. I know you see greater in me, and right now I see it in myself too. But sometimes it's that leap of faith that's kind of the scary part about it is. And I know you're right behind me, but at the same time, as I grow older, I want to try to explore things in my own way, but at the same time, I should still want you to have my back and be there for me. And I know you're there for me, but I kind of push you away too much, and I do apologize for that.
That's beautiful, man.
Because that was almost, I know you were there for my poetry thing.
Yeah.
So I said, like, I'm sorry how it was for my dear future self, how I pushed people away, how I what's the other thing I said? Push people away. Can I do it? Yeah. Let me just figure out what the little bits and pieces. Let's see.
And it's like as you're looking at that poetry, bro. When you were, I know I didn't get to watch you perform live, but what I read and saw, man, you should have won that poetry hands down, man.
It still hurts, man, because like I said, the person that won, she didn't do it original. That's the hard part about it is like, poets, sometimes it takes a poet 30 minutes to write their poems. And sometimes it takes them days and weeks because all that pain and all the suffering, or sometimes you'll be happy. It can be so happy that you want to write so much that you just have to kind of dense it down. Or it can be so much pain that I just can't write down no more just because it brings too much suffering and pain. And then somebody comes along and just takes up work of somebody who wrote something out of their own heart and then they win. That's the hurting part about it. So I was kind of disappointed, but I'm just still glad I was able to participate. Mm-hmm. So here's the part I want to say. So I'm sorry for the dreams I didn't chase, for the friends I pushed away, for the times I abandoned our faith, for the moments of doubt that I couldn't embrace. Dear future me, I know we want to be the man God has ordained us to be, but sometimes my pride gets in my way. So yeah.
That pride, bro. We can talk this entire episode about that one word, pride.
Yeah, man.
How has pride and just you not I guess you were saying you sometimes don't see your own potential. Why is that?
I think the older I'm getting now, I feel like I'm comparing myself a little too much to people when it comes to my education. I see people being more, advanced in the field of cybersecurity and stuff like that. But sometimes I might still be a little confused. They're just getting it like that, and it feels like once I graduate, will I be able to get the job that I desire? Will I be able to move up the corporate ladder? Will I be able to finally accomplish my dream of being in the federal, FBI and stuff like that? So the pride is just like, I want help, but I want to try to do it myself at the same time, because it's the idea like I did it. Like I didn't need no help to do it. I didn't need nobody. I didn't need nobody pushing me or like pulling me by a collar or showing me the way. It's like, okay, I did it by myself. I got here. And I was able to do it. But how my mom always tells me is that everybody needs somebody. That God didn't put us on this earth to be alone. And that comes with love, that comes with friendship and stuff like that. It just comes with everything. That you want somebody to come home to, you want somebody to be able to talk to and stuff like that. You need somebody in your corner always cheering you on, because you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing, or you just need that little bit of encouragement at the same time.
And that makes a lot of sense, because in my life, bro,
Mm.
I be sometimes thinking like, why have I not ever been in a relationship, or why do I feel so lonely at times? And you said the exact same thing. Everybody wants to come home to someone like, oh, you're doing good, keep going. Like everybody wants that, and like you speaking that, it really hits home a little bit, bro. But man, I don't really, bro. You got me caught off guard on that one, bro. But jeez, bro. Also, you speak a lot about faith. What does faith mean to you?
Let's see. Faith means to me, it's like the scriptures say, walk by faith and not by sight. Maybe contradicting what I just said, but once I finally think I'll be able to finally get into my faith, because right now I can't be honest, I'm not the man of God that I want to be right now. I pray on and off. I pray when I need something. I pray when it's convenient for me and stuff like that. I will stay up late, and then have only time enough to brush my teeth, wash my face, put my clothes on, and head out without giving God His time. And He has done way too much for me. But once I finally think I finally step into the man of God I am, I believe faith is allowing God to direct your path and not doing your own thing. Like even though you see the target, you see that ball right there. If you just go straight, you got it. But God says, I need you to go around and do something. I compare like a video game. We all love video games. If you had an option, the game began like you can go to the boss battle, or you can go, play the right way. And you choose to go to the boss battle. That's kind of a dangerous way to do, because you don't know your character's powers. You missed all the level ups and all these things that can make your character better in life. But to be able to defeat the boss, and now the boss is just kicking your character's butt over and over again. But if you decide to go the correct path and go all throughout the game, getting the level ups, making your character bigger and stronger, and figuring out how your character works, then you finally were able to defeat the boss with ease. And the point is, like, when I finally be able to walk by faith and not by sight, I'll be able to just allow God to direct my path. Even though I see the easier way, if I go around, something can be better my options and better my circumstances to be able to get to my destination. If that makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And so that brings me to the next question. Why do you think it's so hard to not, when we know what's right and we know what God has been telling us, why do you think it's so hard not to choose that?
I think we're just stubborn. We want to do things our way, and it's just, if somebody wants to help us, it's just like we're pushing things away. And God is an almighty, all powerful being, and He knows everything. And the thing is, the beautiful part about God, He still wants to hear from us, even though He knows what we're thinking, even though He knows what's in our heart. He still wants us to pray to Him and to be able to confess what we need and confess what we want. But we're just so stuck. I feel like we're just so stubborn. We're just so focused on our end goal that we want to find the easiest way to do something and just get it over with without going through the experience.
The experience. When I tell you, bro, I feel I sometimes trip about that, like getting to the final destination and not appreciating the experience that I'm going through. It's different, bro, because like, I know for me personally, there's so much stuff I want to do right now, and there's so much like career paths I want to go through. And I'm like, yo, let me just hit a time machine. Let me skip 5 years. But what I keep forgetting is me going through the stuff I'm going through right now is part of the experience that's gonna prepare me for those things. Like you were saying at the video game, like you get to the boss battle, you don't got nothing.
Yeah, you don't got nothing.
Exactly. So then when you gonna get mad at when you die?
Yeah.
And so it's stuff like that.
Let me ask you a question. Would you, if you could build a time machine and go back, would you change anything about anything?
The correct answer should be no, but I'm gonna be humble here. I would. I feel like there are things that I did and there's things that could have happened that me now I would have made a different decision. So yeah, that's a good question, bro. Yeah, I feel like I would. There's some couple things that, and I know we're not supposed to regret things, but there are some things that in my life that I would change. For instance, last year, my freshman year of college, I was with this girl, and I knew I shouldn't have been in that room, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so like she texted me, and I remember to this day because like that's how much it impacted me. She was like, "Yo, do you just want to watch a movie tonight?" And you know what that means, bro.
Yeah.
And so me being the naive and the eager me, like, oh, I want this.
Yeah.
So I said, sure, come over. But when I tell you, I should have not engaged, because you know what happened. And after that happened, about 4 months, literally when I tell you 4 months, I am tripping. Every day I'm like in this negative headspace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I feel so guilty. God didn't, when it comes to sexual sin, God tells us to run from it. But instead of running from it, I ran towards it.
Yeah.
And so when I ran towards it and it was not, he didn't bring me to that, now I'm dealing with the consequences of my actions. Yeah. And that's something I wish I could change to an extent. You know what I mean? So I flipped the question to you, bro.
Oh man, that's a good question too, man. Yeah. It's a yes and no question. Like if you did have the opportunity to go back and change things, I would. I've also gotten the question, if I had the opportunity to remove the tumors, what I would. What would you do? Would you do it or not? It's a yes and no question with that as well. I want to answer the first one, I'm going to answer the second one as well. I believe everything that we do builds upon what we are today. Because sometimes if we don't experience something right now, we're going to experience it in the future, and we can be at a higher, more powerful state than what we are. When I mean higher and powerful, I mean like you can be like your CEO of your own company, or you can be a VIP or not VP, a VP of a company or whatever. You're in a perfect state of where you are, and the thing that you didn't do in the past can affect you in the future and mess you up. So I'm kind of glad I did experience some things in the past, because it made me who I am today. And I know I know that I shouldn't touch it, or I should pursue it even more. So I think if I did have the opportunity, no, I know I wouldn't want to change nothing, because it's like who I am, man. Yes, I do have regrets, and yes, it does hurt to see. Because sometimes I get flashbacks like, dang, did I really do that? But at the same time, it's like, okay, I did it, but now I'm a better person than I am before, and I know not to go back and do it, or I know to be ready for the next chapter of what might happen when it comes to that.
What's when you speak of regrets, what is something you do regret that happened in your life?
What is something I do regret that happened in my life? Not taking my high school journey a little bit more serious. I could have done better in school then, and I could have been at a higher point in my education right now than where I am at this point. So that's the one thing I do regret. I wish I had taken more AP classes and taken the test to be able to pass them and be able to move forward with more, to be able to get those credits towards my university hours and stuff like that. But played around and was like, I'm going to just deal with it later on. So I was a later on type of person. And I'm still kind of am right now, but it was worse when I was younger.
Really? So why do you think that was? Like, what was it? What was causing you to?
I'm just a laid back person, man. I just felt like the world would wait on me, and I just had all the time in the world. That's a simple answer with that.
I feel you, bro. Like, you know that term senioritis, bro? I felt that my entire senior year. Like, when I tell you I was like that laid back, I almost got truancy in high school because I would go to school and skip to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I regret it now too, because at the same time, like, what did I learn that year? I didn't learn nothing. And it's stuff like that. But I also want to talk about that, something that happened pretty recently.
Okay.
So I was on Snapchat, right?
All right.
And upon reading Snapchat, I'm scrolling through the stories.
Okay.
And the topic of transgender and LGBT pops up.
Okay, man.
And I see your name. And I see your responses.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me, because I was confused. Essentially, I read your responses, but I didn't know the background. So can you tell us what happened?
So I didn't really know the background either, but I saw in the magazine it said Men of the Year, and it had Kim Kardashian on it with a suit and a tie and a bag of like cheese puffs. And somebody said disrespectful, and then another person came, no, she ate that up. And then they came back with the screenshot of Dylan, another transgender person who's male and female. I don't know if you know who Dylan was. She was on the can of Bud Light, and the whole controversy with Bud Light thing. So and I don't know. I'm gonna be respectful. She said that the person was Woman of the Year, which to me that's disrespectful to women who were born a woman, and lived their whole life as a woman, to take that away from them. There's plenty of women doctors out there, scientists, teachers that could have been Women of the Year, but we chose to choose somebody that's been transgender. And I was just saying, like, people who are transgender are, even though they transition and stuff like that, they're still biologically a male. It goes down to the chromosomes, the DNA and stuff like that. You can change the way you look, but at the end of the day, you're still who God created you to be. You still, you were born a man, you're going to die a man. If you were born a woman, you're going to die a woman and stuff like that. So that was the whole controversy about that. And it's just, I'm not of this, I'm from this world, but I'm not of the world.
Hey, so, say it again.
I'm from this world, man, but I'm not of the world. So I'm not going to be a victim or be a puppet to every little thing that's happening. I'm not going to be supporting every little thing. Now, let me rephrase what I just said, though. If you decide to be gay, if you decide to be trans, I'm still going to be your friend. I'm not a discriminative person like that. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna kumbaya, I'm gonna invite you to Thanksgiving, the game, and everything like that. We're gonna hang out. I'll even protect you, because nobody deserves to be treated wrongly. But I'm not gonna hold your hand and be walking down like the pride parade or stuff like that, because everybody has disagreements. When it comes to politics, somebody can be a Republican, somebody can be a Democrat. Now that you know that, all you know is we just can't talk about politics in front of each other, because get into a heated discussion, it can ruin the friendship. So we all have disagreements, but I don't feel like that should stop somebody from being friends or being in a close relationship with somebody. So like I said, I will still be your friend, I'll still honor you, respect you, but if you want to discuss it, you're going to get my honest opinion that I don't believe God made no mistakes. He made us in His image. Do you honestly think He's going to rush and be like, I made you into a man, you were supposed to be a woman. I made you into a woman, you're supposed to be a man. No. I just feel like that stems down to something more, what's the word I'm looking for? More of a mental thing. Like, what happened in your past that made you think that you're supposed to, be that person. So, and I feel like if more people go to God and more people start praying and more people stop listening to the world and listen to what God has to say in their heart, then we'll be a perfect generation, man. Because there's a lot of people who have finally found God and was like, they detransition and stuff like that. And they said, I wish my parents would just have talked to me more, or just have put me in front of God more. Because as soon as I found Him, He was able to touch my heart and show me who I really was and stuff like that. And that just brings joy to me. That just more confirmation of that God doesn't make no mistakes, and it's just our feelings gets in the way of what God has for us.
That is very accurate. There is a sermon I was watching at church one day, and it was talking about one of the biggest misconceptions that we believe Jesus has told us, and one of them was follow your heart. And that goes into exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Following your heart, the heart that is full of sinful desires, the heart that is full of, I'm not going to follow God today because it don't feel right to me.
Yeah.
The heart that makes me want to rob a bank, makes me want to transition and stuff like that. Why are you following your heart, and why are you not following Jesus?
Yeah.
And that brings me to the question is, what do you think is stopping people from fully submitting to God? Why is there such discontent when it comes to Christianity?
It's the world, man. It really is. It's FOMO, fear of missing out. We want to be part of a clique so bad that it distracts us from what God has for us. Like, I feel like if somebody will come into a room right now and there'll be some Christians in there, atheists, and just everybody in between, and he said, whoever's a Christian, stand up, and he had a gun in his hand, many Christians wouldn't stand up because they're afraid of what would happen to them. Because the first thought, they're scared of what people might think of themselves, what people might think of them, how people will react, how that would change their life and stuff like that. I'm part of a Bible study, and somebody was asking, like, what, does it mean I have to stop watching horror movies? Do I just mean I have to stop going to clubbing and stuff like that? And I said, a lot of people think, Christians think, oh, we're boring. We're so boring. All we listen to is gospel music. We got to be like, oh, how you doing, sir? Oh, you bumped into me. Oh, just go ahead and just keep on walking.
Yeah.
I mean, no, because sometimes, you be driving and somebody cuts you off. You want to, flip them off and be like cussing them out. But it's like, you got to turn the other cheek sometimes. And sometimes, you want to fight somebody. And that's the beauty thing about it. Christians come in all types of ways and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that we have to stop being who we are. Yes and no. It just means what the yes part is that we have to change the way our outlook is. If going to the club is tempting, if watching horror movies bring in spirits and stuff like that, then you're gonna have to let that go. If the type of music you listen to does something to you, you're gonna have to let that go. Maybe down in the future, you can probably bring that back in you, bring it back. But if it still does something, just let it go completely. If doing something, if you gotta surround you, if you gotta let go of some friends, that's the hard part about it, letting go of your friends. Because they might be your ride or die, they might be this or that, but they're gonna say, oh, you changed and stuff like that, and then that might go in your mind, like, is it a good change or a bad change? They see it as a bad change. But if you talk to a Christian friend, they see that's a good change. So I feel like it's just the world just whispers in our ear louder than what God does. Because I saw a TikTok, somebody said they might ask God, like, is this girl right for me? And then they did like, oh, how we think God might respond, like he does a whole conversation with us, like, oh yeah, no, she's not the right person, this and that. And then what God actually says, he whispers, no. And that's it.
It's silent.
It's like, no. And like, what you said? He might say it again, no. And then be like, can you give me a little bit more explanation? Like, why? Like, I mean, she's fine, she's beautiful and stuff like that. And then you're waiting for another response. He's quiet because he's saying, I said what I said. Now that's up to you to be able to accept it or reject it. So with the whisper and the loudness of the voices, that it just kind of just makes God into all the way in the back, and it just pushes him away, and we just listening to the world, man.
Exactly, and that makes perfect sense, because when you look, it's so easy to listen to the world and just put God on the back burner, bro, because this is something I was telling you, highlighting to you earlier before the podcast. But the situation with a female that I was involved with,
Yeah.
when I tell you everything looked perfect, I met her. She said, "Oh, I go to church.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, it means a lot to me," and I liked what I heard. And I asked God, like, if this is something you want for me in my life, keep it there. But if not, Lord God, remove me from it.
Yeah.
And he did. That's a lie. But what I did is I would look at the signs and like, yo, that's not right. She shouldn't have said that to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, she's so beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
and I like what could have happened. I like what I wanted, but I chose to ignore her, like ignore what was actually happening.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, bro, the past month, that one situation has made me not want to talk to God, not want to be with God, because he told me, yo, she not right for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose like, yo, I'm not gonna listen to you, God. And it hit me in the face, you know what I mean? And I just sit here thinking, like, when you say the world is this so loud, but God will whisper, and you really have to listen.
Mm-hmm.
It is so hard.
Yeah. That's why they say take off those earphones. Just when you really want to talk to God, just turn off the lights, close the blinds, do like a prayer closet. I don't know if you saw War Room before.
War Room, I haven't. What is that?
Oh man, it's a beautiful gospel movie. It's about a woman that's going through marital troubles with her husband, and you know, being disparted from not disparted, being separate from her child at the same time, and not like physically separate, but just not showing up for her games or not being there for her, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and stuff like that. And she meets this elderly woman who's trying to sell her house because she's also a realtor. And the woman sees her, you know, her faith is not as strong as what she needs it to be. But just to fast forward, the old woman shows her a closet. It's like a small little area. It has nothing but her Bible, scriptures on the wall, and like prayer requests and stuff like that. And she says she goes in there, closes the door, and just talks to God. Sometimes she might cry, sometimes she might scream, cuss, or sometimes she just might sit there and just be quiet and just let God just speak to her. And so I feel like that's what we need to start doing more as Christians, is pushing the world away from us and finding our center. Because, you know, these phones, man, they're a distraction. It's the whole internet on our phone, at the touch of our hand. We can go through, we can do anything that we want on it, good or bad. And if we just need to sometimes just throw it on our bed and just get into our closet or get into a quiet area and just wait until God hears us. I mean, wait until we hear God. Then that's what we need to do. Because the more that we just sit there and be quiet, the louder and louder He will become, and soon you'll be able to hear Him like me and you talking in this room right now. Mm-hmm. So I recommend watching War Room. I don't know what it's on right now, but you can probably find it online somewhere for free. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
It sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, I love Christian movies, man. The War Room, Courageous. That's
Chosen.
Chosen. Ooh,
that's a good movie, bro.
When I tell you,
a good TV show, my bad.
Yeah, when I tell you, man, I have never teared up more watching The Chosen versus than anything, man, because that show was amazing.
Have you seen Sound of Freedom?
Sound of Freedom? No, I have not.
Oh man, you gotta watch Sound of Freedom.
I gotta watch it. Okay,
bro. When I tell the short summary, it's about child trafficking.
Oh, I did hear about that stuff on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, but when I tell you, bro, when you watch it, you will cry. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You're gonna cry.
All right.
But like, it shows just how powerful one man or one person of God can affect somebody's life, and how corrupt and I don't really care to keep it, how fucked up this society is. Yeah. Because when you see, like, bro, I get so passionate about this because you see these 8-year-old girls in like these small countries being raped on a daily basis, taken from their homes, told, oh, you're gonna be a dancer one day, but they're lied to, and they're told, and then after they're lied to, they're subjected to slavery and rape. when you see the like what's really going on the backside of society, it makes you really question like, what are we doing here? Like what is going on? And that's why I suggest like, man, you gotta watch that movie, bro.
And I think that's what a lot of people also hate Christianity. Like, if God was real, why would He allow so much bad things to happen? But my question is, why are you doing nothing to prevent those bad things?
Ooh.
I mean, you have all these millionaires and billionaires, and they choose to build submarines to go watch a Titanic, to watch a sinking ship. Now, don't get me wrong. We don't know if they do things like that, because not everybody wants to be publicized about the things that they do, and that's good. I think you should do things without being in front of a camera 24/7. But at some point, we will hear something like, "Oh, this person did this person did that." Look how many people want to go to school but can't afford it. Look how many things we can stop in this. We have all this land. These billionaires, millionaires, people with all this money have 5 and 6 houses that they can't even go live at. They have all these mansions that I guarantee you, if I go in that house right now, I can play the ultimate hide and seek and you won't even know nobody's in there. So, I mean, we can't blame God for everything in this world, man, because He has given us the resources, the mindset, the power to be able to prevent things from happening. But we just choose to just pick up our phones, just record, and then be like, well, if I was there, I would do this and that. But you were there, and all you did was just record.
Exactly. That's like, we can go deeper and deeper, but I feel like on a basic level, that's why when you see school fights, what's the first thing people do?
Pick up their phone.
Pick up their phone. Why don't they stop the fight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they say, oh, our school has a bad reputation with fighting. But what are you doing? And as that goes into society, like when you say, oh, they just gonna pick up the phone and complain, what are you doing to change? Like you just said. And I feel like that leads to the next question is, stuff like that makes me question, why do you think there is a big problem? What do you think the problem is with Christianity in this world?
We're not bold enough with our faith. We wear the cross, we wear the shirts, we go to church, we play the music. I praise you in the sanctuary. We do all that. We go to Christian camps. That 1 week, that weekend that we're there, we're the most holiest of holy people. While we're in church, we're the most holiest of holy people, raising our hands and stuff like that. But as soon as we pull out that parking lot, not even as soon as we pull out the parking lot, we still be in it, and we're part back to the worldly things. It's just we're not bold enough with our faith, and we decide to just be in a shell with it, man. I'm thinking I might sound like I'm repeating myself, but that's pretty much the only thing that explains it to me, because I know if I've done it myself. I wear the mask of a two-faced person sometimes. I don't mind saying it, because that's the first part about it. You got to confess who you are. And sometimes I wear the face of a two-faced person. Oh, I'm this type of way, but when I'm behind closed doors, I'm this type of way. Or when I'm around this person, I'm this type of way. Or when I'm around that person, I'm this type of way. We should be one person the same way every time. If I'm around you, I should be that strong Christian man around you. If I'm around somebody, I'm one of the guys that are the lead, or somebody else on this campus, I should be the same person. I shouldn't have to flip a switch on and off to fit the dynamics of somebody's atmosphere.
Why do you think in your life personally, why do you put the mask on?
I did that at first to not make nobody uncomfortable. Because I already have these tumors, man. So what goes in my mind is, are they there for me? Are they my friend out of pity, and just feeling bad for me? Or are they truly my friend? Because I think how old was I? I think it was my 16th birthday. I had like a little hotel party, and we had like pizza, games, candy, and all that. And we were driving to the hotel with some of my friends back then. And I asked them, hey, y'all, what do y'all see when y'all look at me? And because I wanted to ask, say, Mama, I wonder what people I wonder what people see when they look at me. Like after they got to get to know me, after years of just experiencing, do they still see the tumor, or do they see, they see my happy spirit, my joking spirit, my corny self, and stuff like that. So she said, "Well, why don't you ask your friends that gonna come to the sleepover, hang out." So I said, "Okay, I bet." So once they came, I said, "Hey guys, let me ask y'all a quick question. What do y'all see when y'all look at me?" And they were confused. Like they said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do y'all see the tumor? What do y'all see when y'all look at me?" And they said, "We just see you, man." Yeah, at first we did see the tumor. We were concerned about it, but once you explained it and once you told us about it, we just left it alone. Yes, we want to make sure that you're good every now and then. Once we play, like, so sometimes we might play football and stuff like that, or wrestle or things like that. But at the end of the day, you're still you.
Mm-hmm.
So once I figured that out, I was like, damn. So I need to really stop doing the two-faced thing, because people already see one thing with me. I want them to make sure that that's the only thing they see. But when they look past the tumor, I want them to see the faith-filled man that God has created for this world. Because I have a cross to carry. We all have a cross to carry. And I can't just keep putting it down every time I'm in a different situation, in a different atmosphere, just to impress somebody.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to expand a little bit on what you just said. So let's say your time comes and someone asks, "Who is Tyrese?" What will they say in one sentence that you would like someone to say about you?
Repeat the question one more time so I can just think about it.
Okay. You passed away.
Okay.
On your obituary, the question says, "Who was Tyrese? What would you like people to say about you? And what did Tyrese mean to me?"
I have to, let me just try to put it in that one sentence.
Or it can be multiple sentences.
Okay. A man of faith who didn't allow no one or nothing or anyone to bring him down, but always brought everybody up.
A man of faith that didn't let what?
That didn't let no one or anything bring him down, but always brought everybody up.
Always brought. That's powerful, bro. Especially like when you start off with like a man of faith and you brought people up. Okay, so do you feel like you are on that trajectory now of where that can be said about you?
I'm at the part where I'm bringing people up. I never tear nobody down, because I want nobody to tear me down. I had somebody talk about a friend of mine. They were just disrespecting her bad, man. Talking about how she wasn't doing her schoolwork, this and that. And I was just like, look, man, don't talk about her like that. Just go to her, tell her how you feel. Don't talk about her behind her back, because I work with her right now, and she's amazing with what she does. Yes, she might not understand something sometimes. Yes, she might be a little bit hyper than usual, but that's something that might make you uncomfortable, but that's her vibe. That's who she is. So I'm at that part. I always bring people up, and I never allow nobody to tear my self-esteem down, because I know who I am. I believe I'm the most funniest person in the room sometimes. My jokes might not always make you laugh. My jokes might be corny. It might be kind of crazy, but I'll laugh at my own jokes enough to make you laugh. Like, bro, what you laughing at? It wasn't even that funny, but you laughing though, right? And so be like, man, get out of here. But the part I need to start working on is being the man of faith.
Man of faith.
Yeah, because I wear the cross. I listen to my gospel. I listen to church and stuff like that. But how my mom says, how she says it? Are you listening to me or are you hearing me? Yeah, are you listening to me or are you hearing me? Because we listen to music, right?
Uh-huh.
We hear the words. Sometimes we sing it, but and we can be doing something and we just listening to it. It's like in the background. But when you hear somebody, you're digesting what they're saying. It's two different things. I never understood it until she explained it to me. I was like, dang, yeah, I hear you, Mom. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
are you listening? Are you hearing God?
Yeah.
That's the question. Like, what do you think?
I'm listening to him. He's like right behind me, but I'm just walking away. he's talking to me. He's trying to get my attention. I feel like he's like throwing little pebbles at me, like, come on, turn around, I'm right here, I'm right here. Or he's just having his hands open, just walking like just to me, and I'm just.
What's stopping you?
I haven't found an answer yet. I can't even explain it.
Like, I understand. And I'm somewhat in the same boat too when it comes to like other aspects of my life, especially like the future. Like, what's stopping me from trusting God? That's been my biggest focus this semester is trusting God. I feel like I have a lack of trust in Him.
Yeah.
And I get you. Like, it's a hard question to answer.
It really is.
And I was in a discipleship meeting today.
Mm-hmm.
And in this meeting, we were talking about what trusting God means. And he asked me, like, what do you think it means to be wise? And I answered it, but he said, what do you really think it means to be wise? He questioned me.
Yeah.
And he brought me to this verse, Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs 10,
Mm-hmm.
or I know it's in Proverbs.
Yeah.
But it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do I want to phrase this? And then it says, knowledge of the Holy One, and through that there is understanding. And I feel like that summed up my problem. And I don't know about your situation, but do you have the fear of God?
Oh. Me doing this feels like I don't. I should have said yes so quickly, but I do and I don't. My fear comes like sometimes when I watch, sometimes when you watch certain movies and they have like the when the time Jesus comes down to earth and stuff like that, and you see how everybody's left behind and certain people have gone to heaven and stuff like that. And at the end of the movie, like, damn. And he just brings flashbacks, like all the bad things you've done and stuff like that. Like, when the time comes, will I be that person that's gonna go up to heaven or be down here? That's when I have the fear of God.
Mm-hmm.
It's like certain things like just pop up on my For You page when it comes to this, TikTok or Instagram or the movies. I'll watch the things I hear, but other times it's like not really,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I get it.
I wanna have that fear of God 24/7. I wanna be, and we need to rephrase I think we need to explain what the fear of God means too.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get into that because I feel like what people misconstrue it as is like, oh, you should be afraid of God because of what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
It's not. And what my mom, when I asked her this question, my mom made it pretty simple to me. It can mean that because God is powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but it also means like, would you do that if your mom was standing right next to you?
Yeah.
That's what the fear of the Lord should be.
Yeah.
When it comes to, would you watch porn if God was looking right at you?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, or just that's what it should be defined as fear of God.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you believe.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's like it's a hard question to answer. Like, you know He's here,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you question, is He actually here?
Yeah.
And like,
it's hard to walk by faith, man. It really is, because you want to just see it. You want to see like, is God really there?